All right, welcome back, everybody. In a couple of moments, we're going to be joined by Democratic congressional candidate Ammar Campa-Najjar to talk about his crushing his Democratic rival and also the Republican incumbent in fundraising out in California's 50th district this past quarter. What is the better pathway to victory in the general election, and what is a better pathway to raising the funds you need to win a general election and to win a primary election? Is it amassing a war chest from high net worth individuals, PACs, hiring fundraising consultants, doing a lot of call time? Or is it amassing thousands of small donors who give in increments of $5, $15, $20? Or is it somewhere in between? And if it's in between, what's the proper balance? The beauty of this conversation is that we actually have numbers, and we can put some numbers on it right now. The fourth quarter fundraising came out. The DCCC, in fact, announced some of these results. Ammar raised $176,000, most of it from small donors, in the fourth quarter of 2017. His opponent, Josh Butner, raised $106,000, I believe it was. And far behind both of them is the Republican incumbent, Duncan Hunter, who has spent more money on legal bills in 2017 than he has raised. Interestingly, when the DCCC announced it, here's their tweet, which you can see here: California 50 at Josh Butner, 107,000, and A. Campa-Najjar, 176. This is Butner has not been officially endorsed by the party, but is considered to be the national party's favorite candidate in the race. That's the only explanation for why you would see his name first here, followed by Campa-Najjar. Normally, you would say, well, he raised 176. Ammar, did you notice this when the I mean, I saw you tweeted back, but did you notice this when the DCCC flagged the fundraising totals in your race?
I did, but I didn't give it too much thought. I mean, at the end of the day, it's the 750,000 people in my district who are going to vote, and getting support outside of the district from people in the establishment, it helps really with just fundraising. But it's not really helping my opponent. Right. I'm working hard. Hunter's hardly working. There was a report that showed that he only got one donation from a voter. Just one.
One donation.
Where I'm going later on today. Yeah. And so guess where I'm going later on today? I'm going to find that one voter. I'm going to pour some salt on that wound. I'm not letting him have even one donor. So I'm going to go reach out to that person.
That's great. So if anybody has questions for Ammar, you put them in the comments section, or you can call the number that's in there. So what does it say? First of all, were you surprised that with this strategy of small dollars that you were able to outraise the opponent? Because the argument is that, well, maybe small dollars are better, but but the total amount that you can get is always going to be better from the wealthy, from PACs. That, in your case and some others, turned out not to be true. Did that surprise you?
Yeah, I was really surprised. But it's really a positive message for me, because I've been trying to run this progressive, positive, inclusive campaign, and it's paying off. So by every metric, right? By the establishment's metric, we're winning. We have more cash on hand than Hunter and my opponent. We've outraised them. We've done it with very little, mainly individual donors. We got one union PAC to endorse and give us money. But we've been able to do this through a people-powered movement. So by the establishment's metrics and the progressives' metrics, we're leading. And my hope is to, pave a path towards a unified, fortified, progressive future. And if the establishment wants to play on our terms and they want to give me resources to fight on a platform that expands Medicare for all, ends regime change in the Middle East, has a robust infrastructure plan that is not going to stick it to the middle class, but make sure the top earners pay their fair share, ends the most expensive and excessive and burdensome welfare system in America, corporate welfare, and allows us to end Citizens United. If they want to help my campaign do that, they're more than welcome to, but those are the terms in which I'm running my campaign. So if the DCCC is thinking, hey, we picked the wrong guy, and they want to come around and support me, they need to know full well how I'm running and what I'm running on.
You've had a few conversations, I'm sure, with the party. How do they respond when you say, like, no, look, I'm telling you this works. We're building a grassroots army. We're going to raise money. It's just a different way of doing it. Is it just a polite kind of nodding, or do you think that they're starting to absorb what you and other kind of insurgent candidates around the country are doing?
It's like anything, right? If you're like a lowly staffer in a big organization and you're telling your boss, hey, I saw this works, we should go this route, your boss is going to stick to their conventional thinking until you could slowly show them what you're doing. It's actually paying off. It's working. There's utility in this approach. And so I don't really see it as them like snubbing me or being negative or spiteful. It's just they're kind of removed from the process on the ground, right? And that just happens like in the higher echelons of leadership with every institution.